Malaya, October 1948. The new British High Commissioner, Sir Henry Gurney, has arrived to find a war on terror that is close to defeat. In 6 months, the communists have launched 1,274 attacks and killed more than 300 innocent civilians. As soon as he digests this desperate state of affairs, Gurney turns to London and demands reinforcements to fight the communists. To back up the Malay regiment, Gurkhas from Nepal, as well as troops from East Africa, Fiji, Australia and New Zealand arrive in Malaya. Gurney soon spots another so far unexploited human resource, the local Chinese. Many are hostile to communism and horrified by Chin Peng's brutal tactics. To get the Chinese on board, Gurney turns for help to the respected Tan Cheng Lock, the president of the Malayan Chinese Association, which is anti-communist.
It is incumbent upon us, the Chinese community, to rally around the government and give our energetic support to make a success of this mobilization.
One of the first to answer Tan Cheng Lock's call is a young man called Yun Yuet Leng.
I was training with British soldiers, British police officers, who are all big-sized. And I'm so short and thin. And every morning we used to do physical training, throwing locks from one shoulder to the other shoulder. And my God, being the shortest there, the weight comes on you. I almost died, but I survived.
Yun also trained alongside Malay and Indian recruits.
See, that's how the comradeship was built up, because of the threat of common danger. When the shooting starts, you don't care what race you are, no? You find that your friend is pinned down by heavy fire, and you're okay, you've got a good defensive position. You open fire so that you can crawl somewhere else. And he does the same thing for you. So you save each other.
Soon, Yun will come face to face with the communist guerrillas. More than 90% are Chinese, like him.
So when the emergency started, the British knew that they couldn't deal with the problem, which is essentially Chinese, unless they brought in more Chinese. That's how suddenly there was an influx of a lot of Chinese.
In the meantime, High Commissioner Gurney receives disturbing reports from the central Malayan state of Pahang. A new communist unit known as the 10th Regiment, consisting mainly of Malays, is terrorizing the kampongs of Pahang. No one is safe, not even children. Hamidin Abdullah remembers these frightening times well and what happened when his friend revealed the whereabouts of a Malay communist sympathizer.
He was about 12 plus. He was showing the house or the whereabouts of someone who was communist sympathizer, you know. But just for that, they blasted his head off.
The shooting of a 12-year-old is only the beginning. Soon afterwards, Hamidin's father is kidnapped.
About 6 months after his disappearance, my father's grave was found. That's how cheap life was to some people.
Kita tak kira. Asalkan anjing buruan penjajah, kita hentang saja. Sekejap menyungkuh dia kena pedih.
The 10th Regiment is not only ruthless, it is a threat to Malay loyalty. For its commander is not Chinese, but a Malay communist called Abdullah CD. Chin Peng has tasked him to recruit fellow Malays to his cause.
Jadi kita nak perbesarkan pasukan kita. Nak perbesarkan, nak keramaikan anggota, nak banyak tenaga.
If Malays start joining the insurgency, the possible consequences are terrifying. So the British must somehow stop the communist virus spreading. A solution is at hand. During the war, the British anti-Japanese Force 136 recruited a dynamic Malay fighter called Yup Mahidin. He proved himself a formidable jungle warrior. Now, the British dispatch Mahidin to central Pahang to eliminate the threat of the 10th Regiment.
British hantar Yuk Mahidin memimpin satu regimen di Timur Leste untuk mengalahkan komunis ni, komunis Melayu ni.
Leading a band of dedicated and highly trained jungle fighters, Mahidin routs the 10th Regiment, and Abdullah CD flees into exile. The threat to Malay loyalty is neutralized. It's a tremendous victory for Mahidin, who is appointed the deputy head of a new Home Guard unit that eventually numbers 350,000 men and women. But still, Chin Peng's communist guerrillas keep up their relentless onslaught. 80 terrorists strike Simpang Tiga, near Ipoh. They burn the entire village. 1,000 villagers are made homeless. 2 weeks later, communist insurgents target a police station in Bukit Kepong. The heroic siege that follows will become a legend of the war. The attack starts before dawn as 180 communists surround the station. Police Commander J.J. Raj was in charge of the police district and knew the station officers well.
They opened fire, you see. For about 2 hours, the firing was going on, and the police fired back. There was this Sergeant Jamil. I think he himself was wounded. On his left, right, and center, policemen were killed. Behind him, the wives and children were screaming, see?
Suddenly, a bugle sounds, and the guns fall silent. A communist approaches the camp and demands surrender. But the Malay Police Sergeant Jamil spurns their offer.
Suddenly, Jamil and one or two others shouted back, "We will never surrender." They said no. They challenged the communists. Fight, let's fight, you see. Then the fight continued.
The communists hurl a barrage of petrol bombs, and the police station erupts in flames. 25 people die in the inferno, including women and children.
I have never come across anyone as brave as these people. They didn't fight for money, they didn't fight for medals, they didn't fight anything. It is just a matter of my religion, my family, and my responsibility. They were there.
Faced with such relentless violence and an enemy that shows no mercy even to children, High Commissioner Gurney urgently demands backup. It arrives in the shape of a no-nonsense, battle-hardened Lieutenant General called Harold Briggs. Briggs launches a new plan that will transform the landscape of Malaya.